Is impeachment the next step? Are you going to hold a vote? It kind of seems like you're chasing your tail at this point because this is not going to go anywhere.
Well, Republicans have finally found it. They've got the proof. Joe Biden has a bank account, and sometimes he deposits checks into the bank account. Now, you might be saying, David, is that a crime? And of course it's not, but that's really all they've been able to prove so far. Maria Bartiromo on Fox News, bless her heart, she continues to ask people like Jim Jordan and others, what exactly do you have proof of when it comes to what Joe Biden has done? And in the aftermath of yesterday's disastrous hearings on Capitol Hill, she asked Jim Jordan, how much money have you identified that went directly to Joe Biden? They start the segment with a screenshot, sort of a scan of a check written to Joe Biden on the screen. And again, remember, they say this is their evidence. We've got the checks. We've got the bank records, the movement of money. All this proves is James Biden gave Joe Biden some money, reportedly to repay a loan that Biden gave his brother. That's all this proves. And they seem to have determined that, yes, indeed, Joe Biden has a bank account. But look at how vapid Jim Jordan's explanation is.
How much money have you been able to identify that has gone directly to Joe Biden? Because I know your colleagues, James Comer, the chairman of Oversight, has told me that you've identified $30 million from foreign characters all over the world.
Yeah. Hilariously, Joe Biden's reportedly worth between 8 and 10 million. But just in bribes, he's received 30 million. Pretty compelling stuff, right?
That have sent money to the Biden clan. And I'm trying to understand how much Joe Biden actually got of that, if in fact he got any of it.
Well, there's the loan payments, there's the $200,000, there's the $40,000 that we can show. They say it's a loan payment, even though there's no documents for it. This is all stuff that the Oversight Committee has uncovered. I mean, this is part of the whole strategy here, moving money around all these different companies.
Right. And of course, I mean, I at a certain point, we just have to say, hey, you guys are morons. You guys really are morons. I know it's not politically correct and we have to be polite and say, oh, well, we're concerned that there might be a lack of credible. These at some point are moronic imbeciles. There's no other way to say it. They say $30 million is moving around here and Biden's getting tens of millions. And what have they identified? They've identified that Biden gave his brother $200,000. And then they've identified that his brother gave him back $40,000. And they say, they claim it's for a loan, but there's no record and there's no contract for that loan. It may be a bad idea. They say don't do business with friends and family. It may be a bad idea, but it's really common that when family members loan each other money, they don't necessarily write up a loan contract. If you talk to lawyers, they will say this can get sticky. You probably should have something in writing, just so if it becomes a problem, you can say, hey, look, here's what we agreed to, okay? Here are the terms. But so many family members don't do that. And all they have, supposedly, there's dozens of crimes and tens of millions of dollars. All they have is a couple $100,000 moving between Biden and family members. And the red flag, the smoking gun, is that if it's a loan, they didn't put together a loan document within their family. They have nothing. They have nothing. Again, this is all damage control because yesterday went so terribly in these House hearings, meant to show and prove all of the crimes Biden committed. Here's another one. Here's Republican Congressman Jason Smith on Fox News saying, we actually can't name a single thing that Biden supposedly did for foreign governments in exchange for the money. Listen to this.
Kazakhstanis, or if it is the Kazakhstanis, apologize, or the Ukrainians. What did they get for the services that were provided?
I think every situation's different, and a lot of it in regards to the Chinese, we don't know the answers to, but Jim Jordan has been very specific about Ukraine. And when you talk about Burisma, you have President Biden, when he was vice president, said that they were going to withhold over $1 billion unless this prosecutor that was investigating Burisma, which is a company that Hunter Biden paid millions of dollars for.
So as you can see, he's just going into the debunked Burisma talking points. The question from Bill Hemmer was a very reasonable question. what exactly did Biden do and for who? Because there's two sides to this, right? There's Biden got money to create favorable policy for foreign governments or foreign companies. First of all, a lot of these allegations center around a time at which Joe Biden was neither the vice president nor the president. So the timing doesn't even pass the sniff test to a great degree. Then you have the money side of it, which is Biden was given money by these foreign governments and companies. Do they have proof of that? No. Whenever we ask, they say, well, we need more bank records. We need more stuff. But we do see a couple $100,000 moving between Joe and Jim Biden. Okay, so on the money side, they have no proof. But then there's the other side. There's the money he supposedly got, which they can't prove, was in exchange for what? What policy did Biden change? They also have no answers to that. Jason Smith reverting to, well, Hunter Biden and Burisma, that stuff's all long been debunked. So they don't really have anything. And maybe the most honest guy right now, this is crazy, maybe the most honest guy is Newsmax host Rob Finnerty, who said to Jim Jordan, you kind of seem to be chasing your tail. It really doesn't seem like this is going anywhere. And I have to tell you, folks, Rob Finnerty is correct, but Jim Jordan doesn't want to hear it.
Is impeachment the next step? Are you going to hold a vote on the House floor? I know it's up to Mike Johnson, but the margins, Congressman, you lost Kevin McCarthy. Ken Buck left last week. George Santos was ousted. Unless you get Democratic votes, this is going to be real tough. So it kind of seems like you're chasing your tail at this point because this is not going to go anywhere.
Now, Rob Finnerty is saying it's because you don't have Democrats willing to support you, it won't go anywhere. Of course, the reality is there's no evidence. That's why it won't go anywhere. But the question is still a good one. It's not going anywhere.
No, fair question. And we got a small majority. Everyone understands that, not just on this issue, but on a host of issues. Our job is, under the Constitution, is to do oversight of the executive branch. We are doing that. We're going to continue to do that. There's no time limit in the Constitution on how long you can do an investigation.
And that's probably the key. There's no time limit. It's not going anywhere. We're not going to impeach because we don't have any evidence. There's going to be no prosecution because there is no evidence. There won't be criminal referrals because we have no crime. But there's no time limit. We can just keep on doing this for as long as we think it'll be advantageous to us. And certainly that means up to and through the election, I would assume. So Rob Finnerty, he's taking a strange path to the right conclusion. This is going absolutely nowhere.